start in 3, 2, 1. All right, everybody, we are back for another team preview. This time for the Minnesota Twins, Adam. Up north in well, hopefully we're gonna bring some good to the Minneapolis area. It's been a rough couple of weeks up there. We got a lot of snow. We've got anti-immigration police just
People killing
running
people in the
around the
street,
streets, and you've got
Civil War, Ground
uh,
Zero.
pretty pretty bad baseball team, unfortunately, as well. Although somehow this team fleeced the Houston Astros into taking Carlos Correa's ass last year. So props to the Twins management for that. Before we dive into this team, though, just want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Hall of Fame Bets. We love them. We're going to use them all the time for this upcoming season for baseball research. You can use them right now if you're listening to this for looking up props for the Super Bowl, looking up NHL, NBA, you name it. It's all on Hall of Fame Bets. Make sure to use the code DADS to get a 7-day free trial and 50% off your first month. Okay, so Minnesota Twins. This team was, I think it was pretty clear last year that they were going to be bad out of the gate. And for some reason, their division price early on was like, you could get them in division price still that was going to be like under like 3-1 basically through May to win the division, even though as the Tigers were starting to run away with it. And I think it was because people just had this idea that, Royce Lewis, Buxton, that there's a lot of names on this roster. I feel like that have moments of just like pure greatness, and then they either just get hurt or they are extremely inconsistent. Like Bailey Ober is a prime example of that. So 70 wins last year. That was a 12 win change or difference from
Drop.
2024.
One could call it a drop.
Yeah, a drop. Yeah, they were 12 wins shittier. Some of those notable transactions I mentioned. So they traded Carlos Correa, which was clear. It cleared over $100 million in salary. I thought that was actually an excellent move for them.
Well, they did that
Trading.
in season, didn't they?
Yes, they did at the deadline. That was one
Yeah.
of the last things they did
Yeah. That's
as the Astros
I
tried
was like, did
to
I not
make a
write this
move.
down? Oh my
Well,
gosh.
that was the whole. Remember, the Astros were trying to replace Paredes, and they were like, "Oh, well, we're just gonna." We'll trade for Correa. I'm like, "Well,
Yeah.
Correa can like barely walk anymore, but sure." They traded your Philadelphia Phillies closer, Joan Duran, for Eduardo Tate, who Javon, friend of the show, absolutely loved as a prospect. I think if Eduardo Tate is also still on that Phillies team, is his JT Real Muto back? I don't know.
I don't know.
That may be a question. Also got Mick Abel as part of that trade, so we'll see what he did. Have a nice start to last season. Surprisingly, he only pitched 39 innings, which I thought he pitched like a lot more. But I mean, looked okay in some of those starts. Definitely regressed as the season went on. Traded also Harrison Bader. There's a lot of guys, man, that they got rid of at the deadline. They traded 10 major league players in just 1 week. They added Josh Bell this offseason. So, I mean, Josh Bell is fine. He's still can throw him in a lineup and he'll add some slugging and production you'll get there. Eric Wagaman, who I actually kind of like from the
Yeah.
Marlins to play first base. A guy that you would get pretty good prices on home runs consistently last year. And they added friend of the show, hopefully, 8-1 Orlando Arcia as part of their transactions this offseason. Adam, what is your take on this team? I mean, was last year indicative of sort of the trend that this team is going on? There's still, I mean, some decent guys that are on this roster, both from a pitching and hitting perspective. But what's sort of your general overall outlook for this team? What was some things you remember from last year?
So I remember constantly wanting Trevor Larnach, former Team USA standout, to come around. And it really never did. But I had a lot of fun betting Matt Wallner I feel like we got a good. Let me just. I'm looking through to make sure that I'm looking at it. But leading the team, I mean, leading the team like Byron Buxton and Matt Wallner did. Wallner had 22 home runs last year. He still batted out the 202, but when he was in, he was great. Buxton had a great year. Cody Clemens actually was somebody last year I remember doing really well for this team. Roger Clemens' son, former Philly. Yep. What's great is that you could tell that this team had issues getting on base because Cody Clemens had 19 home runs, but he only had 52 RBIs. Matt Wallner, by the way, 22 home runs, only 40 RBIs. That means nobody's on base when they're getting these things to happen. Byron Buxton had 83 RBIs with 35 home runs. So this is just kind of nuts there. So the team, I seem to remember that this team went from a team that we used to say, oh my God, they K all the time, not really K'ing a lot. They cut that down. Still in the mid to lower, but not terrible.
I was shocked, by the way, at Josh Bell's K rate when I looked at that. Only 16.5% last year.
Oh, he's
like somebody
great.
I like kind of associate with Kang a decent amount, but no, he actually was the top. Most of this lineup is under 20% on the K rate side, and even like Larnack and Clemens. Yeah, look, I mean, if you're over 20%, that's not great, but it's not also like these were like 35-40% K rate dudes, like a James Wood or something.
Well, Matt Wallner was, but other than that, yes.
Other than that, though, well, let's throw Wallner out there.
Look, man, you got a 10-year vet, Victor Carantini, DHing, recent signing. I remember Victor Carantini. Houston Astro forever. Yeah, look, there was guys though on this team that just didn't kind of jump forward that I wanted to, like Brooks Lee, they thought really highly of and didn't really take a step. My biggest thing though on this team, like they have a good pitching staff that we were big on. You and I were like, oh, Zebby Matthews could be it. Zebby Matthews actually also, by the way, was fine. Like all these pitchers are fine. But the thing for me is that Derek Shelton as your manager is not a winning move. And that's the main reason why I'm just not in on this team. I don't think Byron Buxton's going to be there after. I think he could be a trade target in the middle of the season.
I don't think Pablo Lopez is going to be there either.
I don't think Pablo Lopez is going to be there. I think that's another good call. I don't know if Joe Ryan is linked to every team possible. I think this might be. I think they might blow it up later in the season. I think there's a real good chance of that. And this team was not good from the relief pitching standpoint. They were mid for fielding. Their starting pitchers, though, lots of Ks. Otherwise, not great. And then their hitting was they stole bases and they had home runs. Remember how everybody wanted to bet Royce O'Neal every day? Royce Lewis every day.
The rapper, yeah. The Royce O'Neal, the basketball player. Sorry,
basketball player. Royce Lewis. How about that fall? Royce Lewis was like this guy that everybody was super, super into, and now they're just like, oh.
I mean, to be fair, he was like a baseball savant god whenever he was like when he did come in for those brief stretches. There was a number of stretches where I was betting his 2+ total bases just almost daily when he was like really things were clicking. The weird thing, like you said, is last year things just never really clicked. Like usually he would have like at least a stretch where he got nuclear, and it didn't happen at all last year. There is one guy, and I think this kind of supports your argument that they may be looking still to get younger. By the way, this is a team that also had a lot of financial issues from the ownership side. Big team that was affected by losing the TV revenue or the TV deal. So just earmark that because that's another thing that's going to come up in the CBA this upcoming offseason. But what I think one of the reasons that this team also might blow it up is they have some young guys that I think are exciting. And one of them I wanted to hone in a little bit on, which is
sorry,
is Luke Keishel.
Yeah.
I think Keishel is legit a great contact hitter. Now I know he was only 207 plate appearances, but Keith Law and a couple of other guys that I respect a lot in terms of looking at prospects. Luke Keishel was. Do you want to share
screen and show some of his stuff on Handygraph?
Yeah, I mean, he was one of the I think most excited in terms of some of the analytics guys. Like one of the guys that was people were most
He looks
excited coming
great.
into last
He actually
season,
looks really
and
good.
he started off the season hurt, and he had to come in a little bit later. But like if you go and you look at his profile, for example, on Handigraphs, a lot of red. Not a guy that's going to be hitting a ton of dingers, but 134 WRC plus. Love to see the WOBA. The K rate was excellent. 9.2% walk rate. 83.6% contact rate. That is elite stuff.
That's elite.
And if you go and look at Baseball Savant, now he didn't play enough games to technically qualify, but Baseball Savant does a good job to still give you an idea of where he would have been. If you look right here, he is in some of the top percentiles, or at least top 20 percentiles of squared up, chase, with K, expected batting average. I kind of want to see if there's a market for him for hits leader or something along those lines.
I just was about to say he looks like he profiles as a hits leader.
If he is going to, and he's somebody that he will absolutely play every game if he is healthy. Like he will get, this is somebody the organization is heavily invested in seeing succeed. So, and also fast, 85th percentile in sprint speed. Like when you're looking for guys that are going to be getting on base a lot and making good contact,
14 stolen bases in 49
that
games.
Square profile. That's what I'm saying. Like he's the guy that is the most interesting player to me on this team in terms of a betting angle, whether it's from stolen bases or from a hit side.
Yeah, I had him circled as well. I was like between him and like a Royce Lewis bounce back, but that feels really chalky. Look, I want to be very clear though. I do think that this team is going to get worse because I think that guys that are carrying this team are going to be gone. Like you named some of those reasons, but yeah, Luke Keeschel, 14 stolen bases in 49 games is 182 at bats is really, really good.
So I'm seeing for stolen base leader, because the hits leader is not a market that I'm seeing up yet. He is listed on Caesars. He is listed at 60-1. He's also listed on DraftKings, 60-1. Stolen base leader.
Okay. When his hits band comes up, I would take it. I think I want his over hits for the season. Like,
oh, definitely.
I think his number is going to be. I don't think that. Well, first of all, I don't think they're going to know how to price him. So I think it's going to be 120 something. Really
I think he might get like 100, like 119 and a half, like something dumb like that.
Something really stupid.
I think he might.
And we should take it to like. Yeah. I think he could get 100. Like, I mean, what does he profile? What is he?
If you just even take what he was. So this is what I was just about to say. So he had 207 plate appearances. If you project that out,
182
math here.
I have the regular math in front of me. 182. It projects 162 game average for him. Wow. First of all, it's a 6.6 WAR, which he isn't getting, but 100. Well, actually, as a second baseman, he could do that. If he's not a crappy second baseman
from a fielding standpoint, absolutely.
From a fielding standpoint, he could definitely do that. He projects to be 13. He projects for 13 home runs and 93 RBIs because he had such a weird skew there. I'm not going to pay attention to that, but he does project for 180 hits if you paid all the games. So I think that the bet here is probably going to be a band on his over hits, and then maybe a sprinkle on him for hits leader or for batting average leader. One of those things. I think that might be a great way to
I think you probably are going to get a plus price if you can get him on the bands of 150 hits. I think you will get a plus price. That's going to be like
plus. That's going to be like 175
plus like 180 plus maybe even 2-1. If that's listed, that is definitely a bet for me on him.
It's so funny to look, by the way, as I track what our bets are going to be, and it's like, oh well, we agree. It's just like, I can't wait till we get to the Phillies preview. Yeah, I mean, so okay, so then overall though, we do have in pocket an under 71.5 wins. The line did go up to 73.
Yes. Yeah, so that's
still
definitely
firmly,
good to call that out so you can see where we're leaning, but it's 73.5 is their win
yeah,
total right now.
yeah. I mean, I'm
Disagree with that movement.
and that's fine. And it's very easy to, it's okay to disagree with some of the movement. Can I interest you in, I don't think it's up unless you see it on DK, but can I interest you in Twins' worst record? If he had that market. I think we might get a great price,
No,
but you tell me.
no, only because I just don't see. I mean, we already are thinking the Rockies will be under their win total, and that win total is 52.5. There's too many guys on this team. Luke Keeschel would immediately be the best player on the Rockies, and it's like not even close if he's on that team. Um, so unfortunately, it's gonna be a no for me, dog, on that one. But
No, I
I
mean,
like where your
I do
head's
like
at.
that we found. I do like that. Well, you the way you thought through it is the way, and I didn't think about this. It's like we both agree. Like, there's nothing we like about this Rockies team, like at all.
No,
At
I
all.
mean, if you go and listen to the preview for the Rockies, you're going to notice that it's almost certainly going to be the shortest preview we do for any team. And there's a reason because we tried to literally fill time talking 5 to 6 minutes about Hunter Goodman on that podcast. So if that's how much time we're spending, if you're spending 33% of your podcast talking about Hunter Goodman, it's usually a bad sign.
Yeah,
It's usually a very bad sign for
I
your
would
baseball
agree.
team.
But I do like this Luke Keeschel look. I think that's something that we should look at. Where did you read the latest Keith Law thing I sent you this morning? The athletic thing. I'm gonna pull
I
it
gotta
up.
get an athletic
There it
subscription.
is. Oh, just use
Mine
mine.
expired.
Dude. You can just use mine. That's fine. It's the same password that I have for everything, I think.
Oh, yeah. All right. I did definitely know what that one is. What is Bucks? So I'm just curious. The only other thing I wanted to look at here was they have the home run bands obviously on
They
DK.
do. Let me look.
Well, they have the 35, 40, 45 plus. Buxton is almost 3-1 on that for 35 home runs.
To stay healthy again and have enough, which he hadn't been able to do in 5 seasons. I don't want that. Do you want that?
Yeah, I feel like I actually think that number is kind of close for me to where I would think about betting it. I think if it was more like 4-1 on that, that's worth enough for me to just literally if he's healthy, he's hitting it.
I'll tell you. Well, I'll tell you what I like more. And I know it's not the episode for it, but I didn't see this. But James Wood at 35 home runs is 4-1. That I like.
Yes.
We need to go back
I
to the
do like
Nats
that one
episode.
too. We gotta
that I like a lot. But so if you don't listen to the Nats episode, we found a bet for the Nats that we like that we are going to be taking. So I like that. That I love.
Yeah. See, there's so. By the way, another reason to bet the under on this team on the 73.5. Go look at their to make the playoff price for a no is minus 750.
Oh,
for
yeah,
no.
okay.
So if you're
basically
betting an
that's
over
saying
on
the
73.5,
under 80 wins.
I was going to say, like, you bet over on 73.5, you are at least betting that they will be in contention for a playoff spot for a large portion of the season. And if that's the case, minus 750 is absolutely not correct. So that to me is pretty telling there on really what to do with this team from a win total standpoint. But
I'm sorry that for Minnesota Twins fans, that I took away time from your team to gush over this James Wood 35 home run price. But is this better on FanDuel? We should find out. The also Gunner at 5-1 for 35 home runs is also great. These are all great prices. I don't think I'm pretty convinced that DraftKings doesn't watch the games. Anyway, back to what we're here about. The team wins bands and stuff isn't here. I still like this Twins team. I still like the under 73. The juice to the over on this team. Like, are they saying what's their division price? They're 10 to
Division
1
price
in the
is
division.
10 to 1. Yeah.
So okay, so I don't get it. But
yeah.
sure.
And for retro and for perspective there, it's plus 130 on the Tigers, plus 210 on the Royals, plus 300 on the Guardians. So they're like that price is indicative of that they are far away from these teams, which I do agree with. I don't think the White Sox should be 50 to 1. I think that's
I think
that's a little
that's
bit,
going to be a
bit
bet,
long,
but I'm
but
not worried about it being shorter.
we're gonna save the gushing over our Chicago White Sox for a future preview. Anything else on this team that we think is important or people should be looking out for in the? I mean, day to day, any guys that you might be looking to kind of target? And I know personally, like, I guess I do kind of want to see what Taj Bradley does on this team a little bit. I've always liked his stuff, and there's times where he can look absolutely filthy. His expected ERA is actually, if you look in terms of delta, at least anybody on this team, it's by far it's the biggest difference from 5.05 ERA to our 3.84 on handy graphs there. So, he's the only guy that I think I'd be seriously looking at for like early in the season. I might get some good value on some strikeout, or maybe not even strikeout, but like earned runs, kind of, in that area. Different pitching staff. The Rays usually are very successful in developing guys, and he did not really turn into the pitcher that they were hoping for. But yeah, I mean, and I will be fading the shit out of Bailey Ober once again this year. I know that will happen frequently.
What's funny is when you look at like I remember seeing this before, but I feel like the whiff rate. Zebby Matthews, our guy, 27% whiff rate. Zebby Matthews. If Zebby Matthews got a chance, the things that he could do. Let's see who had the highest K rating. Joe Ryan.
The 2025 Rookie of the Year ticket up in smoke.
Up in smoke. Bailey Ober. Bailey Ober has very, very good control. Very bad.
Very bad batted ball though.
Very bad.
Very bad.
I believe his BABIP is. Oh yeah, his BABIP is.
Yeah, it's not great.
Really, it's 300. It's so bad. But he has like a 5% walk rate, and I was like, why is his O swing 33.9? I'm like, because he has like incredible control. He just doesn't throw good pitches. Joe Ryan, do you think Joe Ryan's on this team by July?
Yes, I do think Joe Ryan's on this team because I think that I think that the offers that the Mets were throwing out there, that the Red Sox were throwing out there, were pretty legitimate offers. I definitely think the Mets threw out Jonah Tong in one of their offers, even though they claimed that they didn't. And the Red Sox obviously still have a fantastic farm system, even after calling up their three big guys. So for some weird reason, I think they are going to hold on to him. I definitely think that Lopez is out the door, though. I don't see him on this team after the deadline, and I don't think Buxton's gone, but I could see Lewis or a couple other guys in that lineup that are expendable. I really think that Ryan and Buxton and Keishel are like the only three guys I'm circling that I don't see getting moved. And the Ryan stuff is, again, just kind of evidenced by what happened in the offseason. But
Cody Fung.
I think that's
pretty much it.
I think that's all I got on this team.
Yeah, that's all I have on them too. A reminder, Hall of Fame bets, hofapp.com. Use code DADS. Really good companion for all of your betting needs during the season. We will use it. We do use it. Last question I do. What about Dave Festa?
Oh, Festa party.
He was like, I feel like he was really fun for us in 2024.
David Festa is the guy that can like never get to 4 innings. So he's like kind of fun because his outs prop is
having
always
an incredibly low walk rate. He has no stamina whatsoever.
His outs prop is like always something like 10.5 or 11.5, and you're like, how the hell is it this low? I have to bet the over, and then he fucking comes out and he pitches like 3 1/3. You're like, God damn it, I fell for it again.
Yep, I'm just looking at the expected ERAs on some of these guys. Cody Funderburk was good. Joe Ryan was good. Simeon Woods Richardson was better than he should have been. So was Taj Bradley. Pablo was way worse. Bailey Ober was not good. Zebby Matthews was Bailey Ober. And, they had Genesis Cabrera. I didn't know that. What a weird thing. Anyway, all right. Well, so we are now done. If you were listening to these in order, which I don't know why you would, we are through 3 teams with 27 to go, right, Spencer? I said 31 and another one, which is wrong. So 27 to go, but this was your Minnesota Twins MLB preview from Dad's Bet Baseball.